How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RUFFLEDLIVE, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the most recent Pokemon Scarlet and Violet theories, rumors, and leaks as well. So let's get started. First of all, with this post from Light Gacha. Now, Light Gacha, as you guys may know, is a theorist over on Twitter who's been posting most, like kind of a lot of different things. And he has a really interesting theory on what he thinks might be going on with the circle in the middle of Paldea, which, of course, is the region we're going to be exploring. And we still do not know what's happening in that middle part of the region. So as we said, good afternoon, guys. Today I'll be bringing you a theory about what can be and happen in that hole in the middle of Paldea. And if Game Freak has really done a good job investigating and capturing what the area can represent. I will do two parts. One will spoil, another without. Let's start. First of all, I think we will have to guide ourselves geologically and think that this hole is representing Madrid, since it is right in the same place. So from here, we can ask ourselves, has Game Freak really thought of Madrid and developed a new place from the known or from the unknown? So basically, this area in the middle of Spain, I guess, is where Madrid will be located, and perfectly also aligns with the middle of the region, which is, you know, Paldea, of course, is this spot. So there you go. Either way, he continues on saying, I've been investigating and resolved that under Madrid there is an underground city full of tunnels, chambers, and passageways, and even coal mines. Interestingly, there's a large part of which remains unexplored, and with the intention of hiding something from view, which that is something I did not know. But if they're actually using this as a genuine basis for like this kind of unexplored area, I think it's pretty cool, because I would love if this was like a unknown place in the region which nobody dares to like traverse too far into because it's dangerous. But either way, in the first trailer we had some plans on the ground and some images that resembled Romanesque architecture, where they already were hinting to us in some way that there may be a city below Paldea. Is the real treasure here? Is this an advanced or antique underground city, depending on the version you're playing? So as you guys can see, yes, there was some drawings in that kind of esque style in the background of the first trailer, which left a lot of different hints. And yeah, it does give off that Roman-esque type of architecture. Now, if you like the idea, would you like to be able to catch Pokemon right there? So I think it's a good idea to think of it this way, that like basically this underground area could serve the same purpose as the underground in BDSP as an example, right? Like the underground there, but like larger and more interesting and more passageways. So if you like the idea, would you like to be able to catch Pokemon right there? Like the strongest Pokemon when we already are reaching the end of the game, like Victory Road? Would you like the final combat to be there? I'll make some spoilers from here. So he says, this hole is a paradox time, or timeline, time space, I guess. We know that in the end game will be there will be here something, and also the final fight, which we will not fight with our Pokemon. What can this mean? Well, will the Paradox Pokemon come together with Korra or Mira as leaders, and we can use them against the real villain, Clavel, which is the professor of the school, right? The kind of headmaster. Now, Paradox Pokemon, we already know what these are. You guys have already seen this list a million times. You know, Jigglypuff, Amoonguss, Volcarona, Salamence, Donphan, Misdreavus, Magneton, Dendelibird, Gallade, Volcarona again, Tyranitar, Donphan, Hariyama, and Zweilous. So we already know the list. Now, imagine Korra and Mira, Koraidon, Miraidon, saying for you to choose 5 of these Pokemon, depending on the version, to then battle Clavel with. After the fight, maybe they will disappear inside the city, and we will be able to catch them. I like the idea of a Dragon Ball when the balls scatter after we ask for a wish, which, yes, that is a cool idea, and I don't know if that wouldn't be... I think that would be a pretty interesting concept. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think it's an interesting concept. Now, we can think that the Paradox Pokemon are Pokemon that have adapted to the energy, information, matter, and circumstances of space-time. So, is this Pokemon showing, what we're showing here, is basically a Pokemon for the multiverse. As far as we know, if a Jigglypuff can be a Paradox Pokemon, anything can. What do you think? And then, I have a theory about this. Now, these Paradox Pokemon, and this is something I spoke about yesterday in our podcast that I was doing with Dusty Gogoat and SoulSilverArt. We were doing like a podcast and we're talking about some stuff, and Soul made the point clear that it's a bit conflicting because obviously this game has past and future in it. I mean, Sada and Turo are literally past and future characters. Like they literally have pasado, which is past, and futuro or turo, you know, in their name, which is future in Spanish. So they literally have past and future in the names, and it's obvious that Koraidon and Miraidon are based on past and future versions of themselves. I mean, seriously, look at this thing. It is literally exactly what we're looking at right here. Like one is like a past version, one is a future version, and they're the perfect sides of the ends of the, you know, spectrum from each other. So they're perfectly lining up in this case. They are perfectly lining up, and down the middle you have the, I guess, they are the paradoxes, and then whatever is in the middle is the actual normal one that should exist here, which is Cyclizar. So or the present version, right? Now, the problem is, these Paradox Pokemon, like, the name for them is a bit conflicting because Ridlaku has been making it very confusing to understand what they are. He says that a few of them could be based on urban legends, like Bigfoot and vampires, Dracula, stuff like that, like urban legends, myths, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, others could be based on literal, like, a futuristic style. For example, the Violet, Paradox Pokemon will be more futuristic looking. So this adds a weird element where basically, I still would argue that these Pokemon are related to past and future, but they're not going to be called past and future forms. And the way they're going to look is going to be a bit conflicting because they're basically going to be brand new Pokemon, right? But the way I saw it was that basically the way I would compare it is that these certain Pokemon, like, are from the past or the future, but from a different timeline, not our timeline. There are basically a version in a universe where, for example, Amoonguss became legendary. It is a legendary considered Pokemon. It's so, like, in that one parallel universe in a past version where basically maybe humans didn't exist, so certain Pokemon evolved in a different way and became stronger and were even considered legendary in that way, you know what I mean? So in some weird way, I do think that time is related here to these things, but also timelines and other universes and stuff like that. I think that's what a big aspect is to this. So again, what do you guys think is in the middle of that region, like of the region? What do you think this hole is? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's move on to the next thing, which is actually coming to us from Pearl Enthusiast, who has a recap of what Kaka's been saying from yesterday or today, if you were looking at this yesterday. But anyway, it's a very big one, so here's a bunch of stuff, and there are some spoilers, so beware. Don't keep watching if you don't want spoilers, but I'm guessing you're not clicking this video if you didn't want spoilers. He said maybe to Greninja being able to be brought into the game from Pokemon Home. Sligo does not have a Paradox version. The Paradox Jigglypuff is a Fairy plus something else, not Dark type, and is not a Ghost Fairy type either. The past Paradox Volcarona is not an Ice type, which Ku hinted bug fighting, okay. And then the Paradox Hariyama is not Steel type, it keeps its fighting typing. There are no new ground types that we don't know about, so Kaka replied with a thinking emoji, usually meaning no. Crab is only Rock type, so that's fair, like a crab Pokemon. He again states that the Paradox Misdreavus is a Ghost Fairy type. Kaka does not like any of the 4 sub-legendaries, which, I mean, that's his own personal opinion. I mean, I know there's a lot of Pokemon that I like that, for example, Ridlaku doesn't like, so at the end of the day, it's all based on personal opinion. The mouse couple evolves, so there's a mouse Pokemon, and basically, they're going to be evolving. He says, I mixed on this one, so I'll give you the answer. He said, the question was, does the mouse couple family evolve? He says, couple evolution, which is weird. He changed yesterday's answer of the sub-legendaries being evil to yes, maybe no, which just conflicting. Then he says the Paradox Jigglypuff loses normal type, the Paradox Delibird loses the flying type, Grimmsnarl is in the game, and it just says SSS from Kaka has meant yes in all other cases. Gliscor is not in the game. Parakeet is a normal, the Parakeet Pokemon, which is like a little parrot looking thing, is a normal flying type. The Hake Fish is a single stage. Chatot is not in the game. Whimsicott is not in the game. Giratina might be able to be brought in from home. Electric Bird only evolves once, so there's an Electric Bird Pokemon. Shedinja is cut, not Electric Terra for you. Okay, that's great. No Shedinja. That's amazing. Spider is still bug type when it evolves. The Crane is also a single stage Pokemon. All Paradox typing list is in the next tweet. So we have 4 electric Paradoxes, 5 fighting, 3 fairy, 3 dragon, 3 dark, 2 ground, 20 types in total that will be spread out across all all of them. So 18 unknown typings for our Pokemon, not including Suicune and Virizion. We already know some of the above could be Fairy and Dragon and are and fighting already, like Jiggly, Misdreavus, Salamence, Hariyama, etc. So we won't know for sure which of these above typings are used / known already or no. So there you go, guys. Those are the typings. So yeah, shout out to Neptune, by the way, for helping him out with this. But yeah, also clarifies that the Salt Pokemon has 3-stage line and it's only Rock type again. So that is that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for this list as well. That's just an update on what Kaka has been saying. And that's just pretty much an update on him. Let's move on to the next thing. So this is from SoulSilverArt, who says the following. So raids are harder and breeding is easier. I'll take it. It seems like breeding won't take as much manual effort. And this is coming to us from Soul, who basically is talking about the fact that it was pretty much confirmed now by I guess, Ridlaku, that Titan raids are harder than Sword and Shield. Let's get well prepared. Farm raids to get the rare spawns and essential, I guess, required items. The Titan egg system is more convenient for office employees and people like me, busy touching fish, but highly paid. So basically, instead of, the way that the hatching and breeding of Pokemon is going to work in this game is going to be a lot easier than it was back in the day, right? It's going to be a lot simpler, a lot easier, a lot more to the point, just a lot more calm, you know what I mean? And then it says here, who do you prefer to getting a Terran Pokemon? Though raids have high IVs, no other specials. Raid, or what way do you prefer getting them, I guess? A raid or wild? Somebody asked here, Haiku, about that. Is there an item for changing the Terra type of Pokemon? How hard is it to get? And the person asks, it's confirmed by Ku. There is, though they've not said where it is. I'd assume post-game Battle Tower facility says play raids. I guess that's where we're going to be accessing those items. And he says here, I already replied to this to Ku, but I'll be so happy about past Volcarona looking more like Larvesta. It's a hot take, but I've always liked Larvesta's design more. I am most excited over this paradox. Part of me almost thinks this was a riddle of Ku, what he was hinting at. So what are we talking about? Well, basically, he says here, like Riddler Ku says, about Ancient Moth, so that's, Volcarona. If you want to imagine its appearance, just look at its pre-evolution. So I guess something more like this, almost, in a weird way. Something like that, more, which is, this is a drawing by Amashinu, who says maybe it's a Korai Volcarona becoming Poison Fire or Bug Poison. And he just, adds that this is what he assumes it will look like. Like Arceus instead of Larvesta, due to this common new fan-made connection. That shiny Larvesta is a baby Arceus, lol. But I don't know. Ku also asked us to give him IDs for other R fakes. The IDs here were so good, an actual Fakemon artist now has tons of R fake concepts to draw new Pokemon from. So, yeah, this literal meme... This literal meme is becoming real in a weird way. It says, any cool IDs on Gen 1 potential new regional fakes? Requirement: 1, different species; 2, living in a different environment; 3, finish the design just by palette swap and minor changes, and run out the IDs, and you could just come up with those two they created. So not only, but I think he asked this to give us a good idea of what regional fakes could look like. Here's a few he answered to that could make good good fake Pokemon, and that I think could be a good example of what regional fakes were getting. Lastly, he said the coin evolution is like liquid metal. So what is he talking about? Well, basically, what he's saying here is that regional fakes, the R fakes, realistically won't look much more different than the original Pokemon. Like, he's just saying that they're going to be pretty much a palette swap. And the reason this kind of worries me is because, I'm going to be honest, I prefer new Pokemon over regional forms. And unfortunately, regional fakes just seem like an excuse to make the same Pokemon over again, but just change its color and call it a new Pokemon and act as if it's a brand new thing. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. But here's basically what was being said here. Somebody asked, what about a Voltorb with a fruit such as an orange? He says, cool. And then somebody was saying, I would have loved if a hermit crab or a snail shelter thing came to fruition. Tumbleweed Tangela also didn't sound like a bad idea. Can't think of much more than that, though. But I really wanted a snail shelter, rip snail shelter. And he says, I like it, which is fair enough. And then somebody said, Oddish line as a seaweed, coral lines, coughing line as a cotton or grass type spores, Grimly line as a sap from trees, Tangela line as bugs and worms instead of weeds. Depends on how these Pokemon actually look and how much they really change for them. And he says, I like number 2 and number 4. And then, space-themed Staryu and Starmie, real space aliens, sounds cool. And again, the final one, you mean that the Diglett R-Fake is literally this? And he just says, yeah, pretty much this, but longer. It's just this, but longer. Just a long boy version of it. So think, in some way, a worse version of Alolan Exeggutor. By the way, Kaka said it was the Coin Man, so the mystery continues. Either way, the liquid metal actually makes me a little more excited about this man Pokemon. So there's a male man Pokemon that looks like a man, but it's a coin-based one. With knowledge of the Ghost Fairy and Titan is that we have the key, which is Gen 6, which refers to as in the Fairy type, was introduced in Generation 6. So 108, with confirmation from Ka and Ku, refers to hunting this Pokemon down like Spiritomb and Hisui. Just wondering what the Cell and P mean. So he says, Gen 6 tells the type of the coin. P means its evolution is liquid metal stuff. So that's kind of an interesting idea. Nonetheless, though, yes, we're going to be hunting around for these coin Pokemon, similar to what we did with Spiritomb back in the previous games. So that's pretty much that. Then we have a final thingy-majingy here coming to us from Soul. It says, Paradox ID number 4. I think this one is the most probable back to alternate universes. The idea is that they are paradoxes because they come from a world like ours, but because of certain decisions, embracing technology or embracing primal ways, the Pokemon we know changed. These pictures explain it. So basically, we have Paldea, then past and the future, and then Paldea is all three, lol. They are just an alternate version of each other, like they are Paldea. And then he says here, something happened to convergence, causing paradoxes to start showing up. I think it's like one reality is if technology didn't advance as quickly, and one is if technology advanced a lot faster. And then our Paldea is just in the middle. And all three must likely come from the same point. It's just something split into 3. We don't know what the thing is. And if someone says ultimate weapon, you are getting the clown roll. So fair enough. By the way, so basically it is a combo. It's basically like, to put it like this, we have all of them are set in the same time. It's just that one universe progressed faster than the other. Now, I hope they don't do it too complicated because I don't feel like it's necessary to make it super complicated, which, I don't know, man. But it says, so there's an infinite number of Paldea in different universes, but these games focus on 3. One that let technology advance, and one that didn't, and one in the middle, the universe we are playing in. Then somehow a paradox event happens in the middle of the region, and these, you know, different ones come through. And yeah, shout out to the lads for actually putting this together. Another thought related to this goes back to my previous paradox ID, that maybe it's actually when the Pokemon come from a different universe or time, it distorts or changes them, and that's the paradox, making them turn into myths, cryptids, urban legends, like who suggested. The idea of them becoming the mysteries of our world that we only hear in the myths comes from a Dakaran, and I think it could hold some weight. But lastly, I'd like to tweak all these theories and go back to my original ID for these paradoxes. What if paradox Pokemon do come from alternate universes, but instead of universes being totally different, the Pokemon are coming from a different point in time of the different universe? So basically, it's time travel and multiverses put together. We're probably taking this too far, and the answers in reality will probably be much simpler, so that children can understand it. But hey, it's fun to speculate about. I hope you enjoyed. Which, yeah, it is more simple than that. It's probably going to be more simple and more well explained by them, but we'll see how they go. Either way, here is an interesting thing. Oh snap, nailed it. From KAKA, we know that each Volcarona will keep one original type, and past keeps bug and future keeps fire. Them being paradoxes is technically a reincarnation of sorts. So past Volcarona has Pheromosa's bug fighting, and future Volcarona has Slazzle's fire poison. Ooh, interesting. So yeah, the beauty reincarnation. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm all for this. I think this could be interesting. I mean, fire poison, fair enough, and I guess bug fighting is fair enough as well. I mean, I would prefer, like, just to keep its normal typing, like regular typing, which is, you know, the bug, fire bug, whatever. I would prefer that, but it is what it is, though. So, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much summarizes it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, and that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys the next time, and bye-bye.